In this video, you will learn the most important topic of data analysis, which is different joins like inner join, outer join, left join, and right join with the help of a merge function. Let's import pandas as PD. I'll make one variable username. In this, I will read a CSV file pd.read_csv username.csv, and my separator type is colon. Now if I print username is not defined. Okay, here I have made spelling mistakes, sorry for that. Now you will see here in the output we have this username. Here we have only 6 records starting with this index number 0, and I'll read another CSV file which is user id pd.read_csv, and the CSV file name is user id.csv. Separator is same, that is this colon, and if I print user id, here in the output you will see we have this user id. And if you look at this, both of this data frame, we have username as common. Here also we have username, and here also in this data frame also we have username, which is common. Whenever you are doing any kind of merge operation or join operation, you have to have at least one column common in both the data frame. And here you will see in both of this data frame, which is username and the user id, the username is common. So whenever we want to do any join, we will use this column username and we will do it on this username. Now first is the inner join. By default the pandas has this inner join function. So whenever you are calling this join function, by default it will do the inner join. And before I tell you writing the code, first I'll explain you how this inner join works. Inner join is the intersection that is taking common elements from both the data frame. We have these two data frame 1 and data frame 2. In data frame 1, the common elements are, the common username are these Booker 12, Gray 7, Johnson 81, Jenkins 46, Smith 79. These are the common username in both of these data frame. Now when we perform this inner join, what we will get in the output, we will get username, then id, and then all the columns from this data frame, that is identifier, one-time password, recovery code, first name, last name, department, location. And what we will get in the value, we will get all the username which are common in both of these data frame, and the common username are highlighted in yellow color. These are the common username, because Jenny 12 and Morgan 63, they are not common. That is, Jenny 12 is present in this data frame 1, but Jenny 12 is not present in the data frame 2, so this is not common. Now similarly, Morgan 63, it is present in the data frame 2, but it is not present in the data frame 1. That is why this Morgan 63 is also not common. So when we get the output of inner join, we will get only those username which are highlighted in yellow color, because they are common in both of this data frame. The uncommon username, which is Jenny 12 and Morgan 63, they will not be part of our new data frame, which we will get after performing the inner join. I hope you got it, how this inner join works. Now we will write the code for inner join and see how this will work and how we will get the output. I'll make new variable inner join, and then I will call pd, and from this I will call the method merge. To perform any joins, we will use this method merge, and then inside this we have to type our data frame. First data frame name is username, second data frame name is user id. Let me check what is the name, user id, and then the most important parameter is on. Now to perform any kind of join, you should have one column which is common in both the data frame, and in both the data frame we have column which is common is username. So here we will type username, and now let us execute the code and let us print inner join. Now here in the output you will see we got this common username which is Booker 12, Gray 07, Johnson 81, Jenkins 46, Smith 79, and we did not get record for Morgan 63 and also Jenny 12, here Jenny 12, because they are not the common username between these two data frame df1 and df2. That is why when you are performing inner join you will only get those results which are common in both the data frame. And there is one more parameter inside this. Now let's say you want to know which row is coming from which table, then there is one parameter you can pass. I'll put a comma here, and the parameter name is indicators, and then you have to call this indicators, and this you have to set it as true. And if I execute the code again, so here you will see we got one more column which is merge, and it says both. That means these username are coming from both the column, and it's correct because these usernames are common in both the column. That is why we are seeing this inner join here, and that is why here we got both. When we will see this indicator function in the indicator parameter in the next join, which is left or right join, then you will understand the help or the requirement of this column. Then it will tell you whether the column is coming from right table or the left table. This is the inner join. The next function is the outer join. The outer join returns all the records from both the table. If the records are not common in both the table, then it will return none. So here you have seen that in inner join we just got the common username, but in outer join we will also get this one, this Morgan 63, and we will also get Jenny 12, but we will get nan in place of some of the variables. For example, for Morgan 63 we don't have id value, so for id we will get nan, and for Jenny 12 we will get nan for all these variables because we don't have value for other variables. And let us, before I write the code, let us first see how this work, the outer join. Let's say we have these two data frame 1 and data frame 2. Now here you will see in data frame 1 we have these username, in data frame 2 we have this username, and when we perform the outer join we will get the output like this. And the difference between the inner join and the outer join is that in outer join we will get all the username whether they are common or not. So here you will see in the output we are also getting Jenny 12 and Morgan 63. Now if you see here for Jenny 12 we have value for id variable, and for rest of these variables we don't have any value for Jenny 12. That is why we will get nan everywhere. Now similarly for Morgan 63 we have values for all these variables, but for the id variable we don't have any value for Morgan 63. So for Morgan 63 for id we will get nan, and for rest of the variables we will get the similar value which is written here. This is how the outer join works. It's very easy. You will get all the username from data frame 1 and also data frame 2. The only thing is that for the variables, for the rows where you don't have the values, you will see nan everywhere. That's the only difference. Otherwise it's very easy. Let's write the code for the outer join. I'll make a new variable outer underscore join. Then I will call pd.merge. In all the join we have to call this merge function which is common. Then I will pass my first data frame which is username, then the second data frame name which is user id, and then the parameter. Now as I've said that by default the join is inner join, but now we want to perform the outer join, so we will have to pass one more parameter which is how, and then we have to define what kind of join we want to use. We want to use outer. I will write here outer, and then I have to pass the column on which I have to do the join. That I will pass here only. On is equal to username. We want to do this join on username, and how, which is outer. and we will also pass that parameter indicator. This is optional, this is not compulsory, this is optional. Now let us execute our code. Now if I print outer join, here you will see, now you will see the benefit of this indicator column. This is our output, and we have both Jenny 12 and Morgan 63, because in outer join we get all the results. And now you will see the benefit here. Now it says that the Jenny 12 is coming from the left table. Now how you determine whether which is the left table or which is the right table? So that's very easy. First you have passed this username, first you have passed this data frame, which is username, and this is on the left side, so this is a left table. This user ID is on the right side, so this is the right table. Now if you pass this user ID here, then this will become right table and username will become left table. So here you are seeing that it says Jenny 12 is coming from left only, because username is on left side. This is how the outer join works. Now the next is left join. Left and right are decided by the order in which you pass your data frame. The first data frame will always be left because it is on the left side, and the second data frame is the right. Whenever you want to do left join, pass your data frame in the first place. Let us see how this left join works. Left join will take all the common elements between two data frame and also remaining element from the left data frame. We have this data frame 1 and then data frame 2, and here you will see we have the username highlighted in yellow are the common one, and this username Morgan 63, this is not common, but by mistake this is also highlighted in yellow color, but you can consider that this is not common between these two data frame Morgan 63. Now how this left join works, it will take all the column elements between the two data frame and the remaining element from the left side. So it will take all this yellow color from here, all this yellow color from here except the Morgan 63, which is not common, and then what is remaining in the left data frame, it is Jenny 12, because this is not common, this is remaining. So it will take all this common element first and the remaining from the left data frame only. It will also take Jenny 12 here, and for ID column we have value, and for rest of the columns we don't have value, that is why we will get nan here. So it is very easy to understand. All the common elements from both the data frame and the remaining element from the left side table. That is why it is known as left join, because it is taking all these username from the left table and the common from the right side. That is why it's a left join. I'll make one variable left underscore join, then I will call pd.merge. Then how you determine left or right? The first data frame you will pass will be always on the left, that will be the left data frame. I'll type here username, so this will become my left data frame, and then the next is user ID, then the next parameter is on, and we want to do it on username. The next parameter is how, and this is the left join, we will type here left, and then we will also use the optional parameter, which is indicator is equal to true. Now let us print left join. Now here in the output you will see we got the result here, and it's here you will see we have all this column, all elements here, and that is why here in this column we got both here. And for this Jenny 12 it says left only, because this row or this sample is coming from the left table only, that is why it is left only, and for all the rest of the variables we don't have any value, that is why we are getting missing here. This is how the left join works. And similarly right join works. What will happen in right join? Okay, let me also explain you right join first, then we will come to the coding part. Right join will take all the common elements between the two data frame and also remaining elements from the right data frame. Here you will see in this data frame 1 and 2 we have common elements highlighted in yellow color and the uncommon are in red color. Now when we perform right join, we will get all the yellow color elements, and the uncommon is Morgan 63, which is in the right side, which is in the right data frame. We will get this also Morgan 63 because this is coming from the right data frame. We will not get Jenny 12 because this is on the left data frame. The difference between the right and left is very simple. Whatever you have whatever you have samples in your right data frame, they all will come, and the only samples from the left table will come which are common in both data frame 1 and data frame 2. That's the only very simple difference or very minute difference between left and right join. I'll make one variable right underscore join, then I will call pd.merge. I'll pass my first data frame username, this is going to be a left data frame, and then user ID, this is going to be right data frame. Then on is nothing but username, and then how it is going to be right, and then the optional parameter indicator is equal to true, and then let us print right join. And here in the output you will see we have the data frame. Here we have all the common elements between the first and the second data frame, and then this sample from right table, which is Morgan 63, and here also you will see in the output it is coming from right only. So we have all these common elements from both one and second data frame, and the Morgan 63 which is from the right data frame. And there is a very useful parameter suffixes in this merge function. So we can pass on parameter here, suffixes, and suppose you have common column names in both the data frame. When you join these those data frame, you will see both columns in your new data frame, and it might be difficult for you to identify which column is coming from which data frame. In that case, we can use the parameter suffixes. Now first let me tell you how that suffixes will work. I will print here df1 dot head and 2. Df1 is not defined. Okay, not username, not df1, sorry, my mistake. Head 2, and then user id dot head 2. Now in both of this data frame we just have this column element which is username. Now what I will do is I will rename this column identifier as id, and then I will tell you how this will work. Or what I will do, I will rename this id as identifier instead of identifier as id. I'll tell you how this will work, just wait for 2 minutes. So first we will do renaming username dot rename, and then columns. This is the parameter. What column we want to rename? We want to rename this id column as identifier, similar to this identifier here, and then we will pass one parameter in place is equal to true. Now if I print username dot head of 2, now we have this identifier, and in user id also we have this identifier. Now when we will perform a join, you will see what will happen. Now let me perform the join. I will write here pd dot merge, and then username, user id, on is username, and then how, let's say we will do right join. Now here in the output you will see we are getting this identifier x, identifier y. Now it might be difficult for you to identify whether which identifier is coming from which table, because in both table, the username and the user ID, we have this a common column which is identifier. Now whenever you perform join and you have common column, you will get something like this, identifier x, identifier y. Now it might get difficult for you to understand whether identifier x is coming from username or user ID. In that case, there is one useful parameter suffixes, and I'll tell you how that will work. I'll copy this from here, I'll paste it here, and then I will put one comma, and then I will call the parameter suffixes. Inside this, what I will do, first I will write left underscore left, because this first table is our left table, so I have written left, and then I'll write right underscore right underscore, because this will take identifier, then underscore, and then left and right. Now if I execute this code here in the output, you will see we got the data frame here, and it says that this identifier left, this is coming from left table, and our left table is username. So it is very easy for you to identify whether this is coming from the right table or the left table. It says that identifier underscore left, that means this is coming from username and the value is 9012. And let us check in username. In username we have identifier and the value is 9012. That's correct. And it says that the second one is coming from identifier underscore right, from the right table, and the right table is user ID. Whenever you have this common elements or common columns in your data frame, you can use this parameter suffixes to identify which column is coming from which table. This tutorial was about different joins in Pandas, and this is one of the most important topic for you, because whenever you are going to work on a real world project, you will have many data frames and you will have to join them. Before joining, you won't be able to perform any operations on them. This joining is a very important topic, and you must know this topic so that you can become a good data analyst, to data scientist, or anything else. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you like my video, you can subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching.